Welcome back to this class. In this class, we will see some preparation questions for unit number 10. Before that, we are going to announce that shortly we are going to conduct online classes for Polytechnic TRP exams, chemistry exams. Those who are interested can contact my WhatsApp number, which is in the front page. In this class, we will see test series for all the units from unit number 1 to 12, comprising about around 2 to 3 test series for each units, and explanations, proper explanations will be given, and doubt clearing sessions will be conducted online, and quiz programs will also be conducted. And charge for this online class will be as low as your mobile recharge. This is to develop interest among students for the Polytechnic examinations. So now coming to this class, this unit number 10 is really a big one. You can expect some direct questions, also some analytical questions requiring analytical and application oriented questions. So for this, so that I have divided this unit number 10 into two parts. In the first part will discuss only chemical kinetics. The second part will discuss about the thermodynamics. So in the first part, we will see the first question as: for an endothermic reactions where delta H represents the enthalpy of the reactions in kilojoule per mole, the minimum value of the energy of activation will be. They asked about the energy of activations. The options are less than delta H, more than delta H, equal to delta H, and 0. So here, this is a diagram representing the endothermic reactions. This is the energy of the reactants. X represents the energy of the reactant. Y represents the energy of the products. This is the activation energy. The delta H, difference between the energy of the products minus the energy of the reactants. The energy of the products will be higher than the energy of the reactants in an endothermic reaction, so that it will take some of the energy to itself, so it is an endothermic reactions. The difference is delta H, difference between these two energy levels of the products and the reactants is delta H. So the activation energy will always be more than the delta H change in difference in energy between the reactants. So the option 2, more than delta H, will be the option for this. But for an exothermic reactions also, it will be very high. Next, we'll see the next question. This is one important questions like this, or questions based on these concepts will be asked for our competitive examinations. The plot of ln k versus 1 by t is a linear with a slope. This kind of questions have been asked in the previous competitive exams frequently. The ln k versus 1 by t. So we know that the equations k is equal to a e power minus ea by rt, and integrations ln k is equal to ln a minus ea by rt. This is a constant, so it will give the slope of the equations. This equation is based on the y is equal to, this is mx. We are plotting against 1 by t, ln k versus 1 by t. This is y is equal to mx plus c. This is so that m will be like minus ea by r. So this is the slope of the equations. M is equal to, slope will be equal to minus ea by r. So it will be negative slopes, and the intercept will be log a. So questions based on this will be given, but some analytical questions, calculations are also asked based on this. Now the next question, the correct statements are, the energy actually possessed by molecules is equal to energy of the molecules I have given here. Activation is equal to activation energy minus the threshold energy. Activation energy minus the threshold energy. Here, this is the energy given. This is the energy of the reactants, the actually possessed by the molecules they are asked, but this is the wrong one. Energy actually possessed by the molecules, activation energy minus the threshold energy is the wrong one. Next, the catalyst changes the position of equilibrium in a reversible reactions. In a reversible reactions, it will not change the positions, it will just change the energy, activation energy. The catalyst will not change the equilibrium position in irreversible reactions. Now the next question is, The statement is, in case of Arrhenius equations, a plot of ln k versus 1 by t gives a straight line with a slope of minus Ea by r. This we have seen already. So this is the right one. The next question is, next statement is, the rate constant in case of diffusion controlled bimolecular collision in solutions varies directly with the temperature. This question is based on the collision theory. In solutions, the collisions theory is based on temperature. When the temperature increases in a bimolecular reaction, the rate constant will also increases. So it depends upon the temperatures directly. So the rate constant in case of diffusion controlled bimolecular reaction solution varies directly with the temperature. It's a direct relation with the temperature. So 3 and 4 are the right options and 1 and 2 are wrong one. So now we'll see the next question. In a plot of d by dt of ln k versus 1 by t square, the slope of the line will be. The options are given here as in the earlier. So this is the equations. Ln k is equal to ln a plus minus Ea by r. This is minus. This is the equation. When you are differentiating with respect to t, d by dt of ln k is equal to, this is a constant. Ln a is a constant. So when you are differentiating with the t, it will become 0. This is a minus and t is in the denominator. When you are differentiating with respect to t, it will become minus. Your minus to minus will become plus Ea by r into 1 by t square. When you are differentiating 1 by t, it will give minus 1 by t square. So minus into minus, it will become plus Ea by r 1 by t square. So this equation is also like y is equal to mx plus c is the 0. Constant will be 0. Y is equal to mx. This m is the slope. Slope is equal to Ea by r. And there is no constant is there. So this equation intercept will be, it will start from the origin. Origin means 0. It starts from the 0 intercept. And it will give you positive slopes because the value here is positive. The positive slopes and slope value will become Ea by r. The next question. The specific rate constant of decomposition of compound is represented by ln k is equal to 5 minus 12,000 by t. This is the decomposition reactions based on the equations I have given earlier. The activation energy of decomposition for this compound. This is a simple application questions. This is y is equal to m. This is the mx plus c. Here, when you, the options are given here. This is the equations. Ln k is equal to 5 minus 12,000 by t. When you are comparing the equations as to the earlier one, this part will become minus Ea by RT. When you cancel out these t's, Ea by minus Ea by r will become 12,000 minus 12,000s. But in the options, it is given, the units are given as calories per mole. So we have to take the value of r as calories per degrees per mole. In the unit of calories per degrees per mole. So its value become 2. So Ea is equal to, this r value will become 2. Here it is in the denominator. So when you go to the numerator, the opposite sides, Ea is equal to minus into minus, minus I will cancel out. So Ea is equal to 12,000 into 2, it will become 24,000. When you convert this into kilocalories, 24 kilocalories per mole. Now see the next question. In a consecutive reactions, it is in our syllabus. In a consecutive reactions, if the initial concentrations of A is 2 mole per liter, if the initial concentration is 2 mole per liter, and K1 and K2 are 0.3 and 0.15 per minute. The rate constants are given 0.30 and 0.15 per minute. Respectively, at what time the concentrations of B in the following reactions will be maximum. This is the consecutive reactions. A gives B and B gives C. K1 is the rate constant from A to B and K2 is the rate constant from B to C. The rate constants are given here. For this, the equations to the formula to calculate the time max of the B. The concentration of B will be maximum at what time? Will be T max is equal to ln K1 minus ln K2 by K1 minus K2. This unit require you to remember some formulas So you note it down separately all the formulas and read whenever you are possible to read the formulas. So ln k1 is equal to 0.30 minus ln 0.15. When you apply this, these two lns are in minus. When you short form this, you have to divide ln 0.30 by 0.15. This we know that. And this 0.30 minus 0.15 will become 0.15. So when you divide this ln, you will get the value of ln 2 by 0.15, and the value of ln 2 will become 0.60 by 0.15. It will be like 4 minutes. So I'll see the next question. This is a question. This is also from consecutive reactions. In a consecutive first order reactions, A become B and B becomes C. Where K1 and K2 are the respective rate constants, the species B has the transient existence. Transient existence means it will be at a concentrations. It will be at a concentrations throughout the reactions. It will be same, but it will change only the beginning and at the end of the reactions. Then it is called the transient existence. When K1 and K2 are same, if K1 and K2 are same, that means the rate of A1 is decomposition of A1 is same as the rate of decomposition of B, means it will be same throughout the reactions. And at the same time, if K1 is equal to 2 times of K2, if K1 is 2 times of K2, the concentration of B will be keep on increasing up to the end, till the end of the reactions. Now in the second options, if K1 is greater than K2, if K1 is greater than K2 means all the decomposition of K1 is very fast. The concentration of B is increasing fastly to the maximum value, and the K1 is very slow, means it's keep on concentration of K1 B is keep on increasing. But in the fourth options, the rate of decomposition of K1 is very slow. That means the decomposition of Ka is very slow. In the beginning, the concentration of B will increase to a certain extent level. After that, K2 is equal to fast. That means immediately it will transfer to C. So for the transient existence, the rate of decomposition of K1 will be very less than K2 is the right option for the transient existence. Only in these options, the B will remain same throughout the reactions except in the beginning and in the end. So this is the option for this, for the transient existence. Now see the next question. H2 and B2 react to give HBr by the following steps. This is for chain reactions. Br2 plus M gives 2Br plus M, and Br plus H2 K2 HBr gives H slow step, H plus Br2 K3 HBr plus Br fast steps. And they have given here, this is the constant capital K is equal to K1 by K inverse, K minus 1 will be the K, capital K. The probable rate for the above sequence, the rate of HBr they have asked. For the rate of HBr, we have to use the formula. The rate of decomposition of HBr will be K2. This is the K2. Here the HBr is produced. K2 is equal to concentration of Br, K2 into concentration of Br into H2, like this. This is the equation number 1. Concentration of Br is equal to HBr is equal to, when you apply the steady state, K2 into Br into concentration of H2. This will be the equation number 1. When you take the concentration in this equation, this is the equilibrium. K1 will become K1 into concentration of Br2 into M, like that. K minus 1 will become concentration of Br whole square concentration of M. It will be like that. K1 is equal to Br2 concentration of M. K minus 1 will become Br square concentration of M. When you divide this, K1 by K minus 1 will become Br2 M concentration of M, and Br square concentration of M will get cancelled. It will become Br2 by concentration of Br square. When you inverse this, Br square will become Br2, K minus will go to the numerator and K will become the denominator. So k minus 1 by k, it will be like k power minus half. When you take this, when you take root on both sides, this is a br square. When you take root on both sides, square root on both sides, this square will go on that sides. Br will become k power minus 1 by 2, br2 power 1 by 2. So when you compare these equations, when you substitute this br in this equations, and this equation br will get hbr, the rate of this equations is equal to k2 k power minus 1 by 2 and br2 power 1 by 2 and the concentration of H2. So we have calculated the rate for the slow step. This is the slow step. So for that only we have to calculate the rate. So these are the application analytical methods. We have to calculate the rate of these equations. Now see the next question. By what factor the rate of the reactions will increase if the temperature rises from 300 to 310 degrees Celsius? The temperature coefficients, when you raise the temperature by 10 degree, the rate constant will become doubles, but this is the different one. K is proportional to square root of t. The equations k is equal to proportional to square root of t. So k1 by k2, k2 by k1 is equal to, it will become equal. When you dividing this k2 by k1, it will become equal to square root of t2 by t1. When you apply the constant temperatures, substitute the temperature, k2 by k1 is equal to 310 by 300. It will become k2 is around 1.016 k1. Now we'll see the next question. The Lindemann mechanisms of unimolecular reactions, the observed order at the low concentrations. So this is the Lindemann equations. In the Lindemann equations, they have asked for the concentration, the order of the reactions at low concentrations. Normally we will see the order of the reactions at low pressures. We have to keep it in our mind. The Lindemann mechanisms, the unimolecular reactions for unimolecular reactions at low concentrations and also at the low pressures. At low concentration and also at the low pressures, the equations will be second order. And at the same time, the equations at high concentrations and at high pressure, it will be the zero order. This we have to keep it in our mind. Next thing, the Arrhenius parameters of the thermal decomposition of NOCl. The Arrhenius parameter of the thermal decomposition of NOCl. This is the equation. 2NOCl gas decomposes to 2NO gas plus Cl2 gas. These are the constant A. The constant A is given as 10 power 13 mole per second. EA is equal to activation energy is equal to 110 kilojoule per mole. RT is equal to 2.5 kilojoule per mole. The enthalpy of the activated complex will be, the enthalpy of the activated complex they have asked based on the EA activation, energy of activations. For these equations, the constants values I have given here. A values, EA and RT value, the calculated value they are given 2.5 kilojoule per mole. This is the equation. 2NOCl gas decomposes to 2NO gas plus Cl2. The change in number of gas molecules in the reactions will be, this is the product minus number of gas molecules in the reactant minus the product. The reactants it is 2 minus the number of gas molecules in the product. So 2 minus 3 will become minus 1 or minus 3. Here we have to inverse this product minus, we have to put first the reactants 2 minus the number of gas molecules in the products. It will be minus 3, it will become minus 1. So change in number of gas molecules will become minus 1. The equation for this, delta H is equal to EA plus delta Ng minus 1 RT. The RT value they have given 105 plus minus 1 RT. Minus 1 will become minus 2 into 2.5, it will become minus 5. 105 minus 5 will become 100 kilojoule per mole. Will be the enthalpy, change in enthalpy of these equations. Now the next question, this is one important question. This Lineweaver-Burke plot, this is an enzyme, this is the enzyme substrate reactions 1 by V versus 1 by S0. In this plant 1 by V minus 1 by S0 with the slope of 4 seconds. The enzyme concentration is 2.5 micromoles. Then the catalytic efficiency of the enzymes. This is a Lineweaver equations. In these equations, there are some formulas are here. This we have to keep it down in some notes or some other things. And when time permits, you have to remember all these equations and read thoroughly. This is a Lineweaver plot. 1 by V plotted against 1 by V versus 1 by S naught. This is the S naught means the concentration of the substrate in the initial concentration of the initial substrate. So this is the equations. 1 by V is equal to Km by V max 1 by S naught plus 1 by V max. The plot is plotted against 1 by V versus 1 by S. So this equation is like a Y is equal to Mx plus C. This is a constant. This is the R max. This V max, this Km is the mechanism maintained constant, and V max is the maximum absorptions at a particular concentrations, particular specified conditions. S naught is the initial concentration of the substrates. So this slope of this equation, this is the slope. Y is equal to Mx means this is the slope. Km by V max, slope is equal to Km by V max. So V max we can write as K2 into E naught. K2 into E naught is equal to this. They have given us 4 seconds. And the catalytic efficiency, this is one more formula we have to remember. Catalytic efficiency is equal to K2 by Km. K2 by Km is the catalytic efficiency. When you rearrange these equations, slope is equal to Km by K2 E naught. But this is K2 by Km is the catalytic efficiency. So when you multiply on both sides by E naught, so E naught into slope is equal to Km into E naught by K2 into E naught. E naught will get cancelled. So it will become E naught into slope is equal to Km by K2. When you reverse this, so K2 by Km, it will be the catalytic efficiency is equal to 1 by slope into E naught. This is the way you have to rearrange this formula. So K2 by E naught is equal to K2 by Km is equal to, that is the catalytic efficiency, 1 by slope into E naught. Slope they have given us 4 seconds. E naught is the initial concentration of the enzyme. So enzyme will be 2 micromoles, 2.5 micromoles. When you substitute this, 1 by 4 into 2.5, this is micromoles is converted to 10 power minus 6 moles. So 4 into 2.5, it will become 10. When you rearrange these equations, it become, solve this, 10 power 5 liter per mole per second will be the catalytic efficiency of this reactions. Now we'll see the next question. The adsorption of a gas on a solid surface exhibits the following isotherm of the following is true. Which of the following is true? This is the adsorption isotherm. Adsorption isotherm means coverage versus pressure at constant temperature they have given. This is from this adsorption isotherm we can learn one thing. This is a physical absorptions and changes with the pressure. In the beginning it is dependent on pressure. At the end of at the very high pressures it is independent of the pressures, though it is the same. The options here are the heat of absorption is independent of the coverage. So the heat of absorption, it is independent for a physical absorption. The heat of absorption is independent of coverage. The adsorption is multi-layer. It is not a multi-layer. It is a single layer. Physical adsorption is only a single layer. So it will become multi-layer. Chemical absorption will be this. It will be the single layer absorptions. The heat of absorptions varies. This is the varies monotonically with the coverage. Here this is not varies monotonically. It will changes. And the heat of absorption varies exponentially with the coverage. So this is also the wrong one. This is also the wrong one. The first only is the right one. The heat of absorption is independent of coverage. This is the right one for this physical absorptions. Now I'll see the next one. Isothermal absorptions of which has the fractional coverage. For an isothermal absorptions with the fractional coverage, coverage is linearly dependent on pressure at low temperatures. Like this, it is linearly dependent on low pressures, but almost independent at high pressures. So this, like this, it is linearly, like on linear adsorption, linear relations with the pressure at the low pressure and at almost independent at the very high pressures. Like this bet means bet equations theory means at low pressures it will be linear, but at very pressures it is also dependent on pressures. It is in the at low pressures it will be monolayer, and at very pressure it will be the multi-layer for the bet equations. So this is not the ideal condition for this. And for the Langmuir adsorption isotherm, it will be like the one I have given here. This is for the Langmuir adsorptions. At the low pressure it is dependent linearly on the pressures, and at the high pressures it is independent of the pressures. So for these questions, it is the Langmuir adsorptions. It is almost independent at high temperatures and linearly dependent at low pressures. Now see the next question. This is also an important questions where you have to learn the formulas. For Langmuir adsorptions, isotherm is given theta value is equal to K by 1 by Kp. K is the equilibrium constant, P is the pressure, and theta is the coverage, where P is the pressure of the adsorbate gas. The Langmuir adsorption isotherm for a diatomic gas A2 undergoing dissociative absorptions. Dissociative absorption means A2 will dissociate into A2As, and it is get absorbed on the metal M. Okay, so of mass M. So for a dissociative absorptions, the number of molecules it is getting dissociated we have to calculate, as A2 is dissociated into 2A. So it will be like we have to put 1 by N. It's a number of dissociated molecules. So it will be like theta is equal to Kp power 1 by N. It will come. N means the number of dissociated atoms. So A is dissociated into 2 particles, so it will be 1 by 2. Theta is equal to Kp power 1 by 2 divided by 1 plus Kp power 1 by 2. This is the form for this dissociative absorption. If A is dissociated into 3, so we have to put like Kp power 1 by 3 divided by 1 plus Kp power 1 by 3. This is for the dissociative absorptions. So in this sessions we have seen some questions, important questions for chemical kinetics from unit number 10. The next session I will give you the important questions from thermodynamics, because this unit is really a big one. It will require some analytical and direct questions also you can expect from this this unit. So as I have already told you, we have the plan to conduct online classes. Those who are interested can contact my WhatsApp number, which is in the front page. Thank you so much for watching this session. Thank you.